Many of us remember when ABC News reporter Bob Woodruff was seriously injured while covering our military in a war zone. While Bob has managed an incredible recovery, he and his wife Lee are using their experiences to bring attention to the plight of our injured military veterans. David Wiley has more.
It was 2006, and ABC News reporter Bob Woodruff was covering the war in Iraq when he and his cameraman were seriously injured by a roadside bomb. Bob suffered a severe head injury, and his wife Lee remembers receiving that horrible news.
So we got that phone call, and life changed in an instant, as it does for so many. Bob was in a coma for 5 weeks with his brain injury. He was hit. And in those moments in the hospital, we really understood what it meant to be a military family, even though we were not. And while everything was equal in the acute care stage, we were very aware of how young these families were, how few resources they had.
And while Bob's injuries were severe, he was miraculously able to return to ABC News 13 months after he was hurt. But his life-changing experience led him and his wife to start the Bob Woodruff Foundation to help injured veterans.
We began the Bob Woodruff Foundation 10 years ago in the hopes that we could take some of the attention that our story had generated and turn it back on the veterans and their families who really needed it. And the current issue that we are here and passionate about today is helping those veterans who've been injured in the war have families, because their injuries are not allowing them to have children.
But many injured veterans are unable to have children without help. But the Veterans Administration at this time won't cover in vitro fertilization services for wounded vets.
There are only 3,000 of them around the country, but they're so deserving. Unfortunately, our Veterans Administration isn't allowed by Congress to date to provide such care.
Honestly, to me, it's not a political issue. We offer in vitro fertilization to our active duty service members who are in the military right now. But if you've been deployed, been injured, and can no longer have a family, we don't offer it to you when you come back. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
And while legislation to change these rules at the VA is making its way through Congress, that can take a long time. So an initiative called Heart for Heroes has joined forces with the Bob Woodruff Foundation in a public-private partnership to give these wounded warriors an opportunity to start a family.
We've partnered medically with the Bob Woodruff Foundation. Medical practices around the country have donated deeply discounted services, and programs like Farian Pharmaceuticals' Heart for Heroes program have provided medications. We look at this as a temporary fix, an interim solution. We need a permanent fix by our government.
But until that happens, there is help through this partnership and the Heart for Heroes initiative. To learn more about this issue, go to the National Infertility Association website at resolve.org or the American Society of Reproductive Medicine at asrm.org. And as always, consult with your own personal physician. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.